It was a gloomy, stormy night, the kind of night that gives you chills. Sally and her family had just moved into a new house in the middle of nowhere. As they were unpacking, Sally's little brother found an old key hidden in one of the boxes. The key was strange, with a twisted handle and intricate engravings. They couldn't figure out what it was for, but they decided to keep it anyway. As the night wore on, Sally started to feel uneasy. There was something about the house that just didn't feel right. She tried to shake it off and went to bed, but she couldn't sleep. She kept hearing strange noises coming from somewhere in the house. It sounded like footsteps, but when she got up to investigate, there was no one there. Finally, she drifted off to sleep, but she was soon jolted awake by a loud banging noise. She stumbled out of bed and followed the sound to the attic. When she opened the door, she saw a horrifying sight. There, standing in the middle of the room, was a skeleton. It was wearing old clothes and holding a small box in its bony hands. Sally was frozen with fear. She couldn't move or scream. The skeleton slowly turned its head to look at her with its empty eye sockets. Sally could feel its cold gaze piercing through her, and she knew that this was no ordinary skeleton. It was something much more sinister. The skeleton started to move towards her, its bones creaking and cracking with each step. Sally attempted to run, but her legs stayed still. She was trapped with nowhere to go. The skeleton reached out with its bony fingers and touched her arm. A shiver went down Sally's spine. She was aware that this was the end of it. Suddenly, the skeleton stopped moving. It turned around and walked back to the box it had been holding. It opened the lid and took out an old letter. It read the letter silently and then disappeared into thin air. Sally was left standing there, alone and confused. She couldn't believe what had just happened. She went back to her room and tried to forget about the skeleton, but she knew that it would haunt her forever. From that day on, Sally and her family never ventured into the attic again. The old key was thrown away, and they tried to forget about the skeleton that had once lived in their house. But Sally knew that it was still there, lurking in the shadows, waiting for its next victim. She could feel its cold gaze on her every time she walked past the attic door, and she knew that she would never be truly safe in that house again.